Hello and welcome to Low Budget Gaming and welcome to another first Descendant video. So a bit of an addition to the Freyna build video from the other day. I had skipped the bossing build from that video because I was worried the video would get too long. I would explain the build and then showcase a few Colossus. It would just be too long. So I'd skipped it, and also because I thought with the Last Dagger and Glay and Haley and Serena, people may not be interested. But I got a comment from someone saying that I should redo that. So I thought I'll make a short video and just cover the bossing setup here. Now, before we got the cores and the Arche Tuning and all of this, Freyna's fourth was very handy for taking out bosses. And now that we have Arche Tuning, we can buff it a little bit more. And so this is basically how this works with the bossing setup. So first up, what we do is we go into a different build. We use a different Transcendent mod, Venom Injection. Coincidentally, I had just deleted my bossing preset for Freyna just before Serena came out because I needed more space. But this is what we have been using for 6 months. So we use Venom Injection. Now, Venom Injection, when it's activated, it basically changes your second ability. And when it's activated, it consumes your HP. If your HP is too low, it consumes your MP and gives you more power for the duration. Okay. So what we do is we just put as much power as we can, and we try to overcome that HP situation by using Overwhelming Shield. Because if you don't have shield, you could have 20,000 HP. It will just consume it in a few seconds. So we put Overwhelming Shield to lock it basically at 1. So it doesn't use HP, it will start using MP. And that way we can keep shooting. So we use Toxic Amplification and Tech Amplification. These are the usual ones. Then for power, we use skill, maximize power, and for modifier, we use maximize skill. Both these gives you the maximum power. However, the downside is they increase your cooldown quite a lot. Now, we don't worry about the cooldown here because we plan to kill the boss in one duration of our fourth ability. So even though the duration is doubled, we just want to, sorry, the cooldown is doubled. We try to kill him quickly so that we don't have to worry about that. Then we put Venom Cinctium. This also gives you 10% skill power. We use Spear and Shield, which also gives us 8.1% power. Skill Extension, so increase the duration so that we can empty the fourth. And we have Dangerous Ambush, so when the boss is not looking at you, or when the boss is sort of knocked or staggered, you can kill them as well. You'll do more damage. And then some more shield with increased shield. So this is the setup here. Now, what you need for the external components, to start with the reactor, is we need tech skill power boost ratio and additional damage against Colossus, additional skill attack when attacking Colossus. So this is the best in slot for this setup for Freyna bossing. If you have something like toxic skill power and additional attack versus Colossus, that can be also used, but this is the best in slot. Okay, so try to get this one. External components, we use the Slayer set for a flat 26% increase to the skill power. And for the weapons, what we need is ideally an impact weapon, which gives us maximum power on our fourth ability. So we only need these mods because we are using it for Freyna's fourth. This is not for the gun. This is just for Freyna's fourth. You need ammo mods. So find 2 of them. Expand weapon charge and compulsive magazine. These are the ones that give you the most ammo. Okay, and fire rate and sharp precision shot. So these 2 also carry over. Not all of the mods will carry over to your fourth ability, but these will. And I've heard that this also does, it seems to do this. This improves your accuracy because we'll be trying to aim for the weak points on the knees or whatever. So this will help us. So you just need these mods here. Okay. Now, another thing that would be nice is if you had rounds per magazine roll on your weapon rolls. I don't have that here. I have attribute status trigger rate. If I could roll that and get rounds per magazine, that will give me a few more bullets, up to 6 more bullets, I feel. So because I have this enduring legacy here. So notice this one here. I've done the same thing here. Compulsive, expand, fire rate, sharp precision shot. These will carry over. I don't have the accuracy mode here, but I do have the 12% rounds per magazine. Okay, so the difference here would be, let me show you. So with the Resistance Devotion, which does not have the rounds per magazine, if I pull out my fourth, I'm getting 88 bullets. Okay, and let me just empty this so that we can start again. Okay, And with the Enduring Legacy, remember this one has a 12% roll. If you pull this out, we get 94 here. Okay. However, in the clips that I'm going to show you, I'm using the Nazister's Devotion with 88, and I was able to solo all the bosses, all the solo bosses from Executioner all the way to Gluttony in one phase. So you can do it. You just need to be very precise with your aim and shoot at the weak point. Okay, so that is basically your setup. You have your gun that gives you all the power. Now, one more thing I want to mention. The reason why we want Nazistra is because this sharp precision shot for the impact rounds works a little faster, okay, compared to the ones on the general round. So you can see here, while pulling trigger, fire rate plus 4%, recoil minus 5%, and firearm attack plus 6% every half a second, 0.5 seconds, okay. On the Nazistras and the impact round, it says firearm attack plus 6% every 0.4 seconds. So that 0.1 second difference is why this one is slightly better. But again, you can manage. Okay, so I'll just show you a quick demonstration in the lab of how to do this, and then I'll leave you with the montage. I have covered everything. Oh wait, let me cover the Arche Tuning. So with Arche Tuning, I have a boss setup. Basically, from the skill setup, the only difference is instead of going for the range here, we are going for the Colossus attack over here. That is basically it. You can pick some health and stuff, not necessarily, but get these and try to get all the skill nodes. I think I've picked all the skill nodes. These are just the MP nodes. Okay, and you get all of this and you'll be good to go. Okay, so now I'll just summon one boss and show you how to do this. And now this guy here, Tormentor, this will not work because we just don't have enough duration to kill him. This guy needs about 96, 97 million health. We'll be able to get about 55 million. Plus he'll not stand there waiting for 15 seconds while we empty the full magazine into his shoulder. So he'll get enraged and all that. So this is why this doesn't work. But for the solo hard bosses, this will be fine. So let's summon this guy, Gluttony. Okay, and we activate our second. Let me just get the refill here. And activate your fourth. Aim for the weak point. And you should be able to do it within the 88 bullets that we have. About 9 bullets to spare. Now keep in mind, when you are fighting this boss in the arena, wait for him to finish his initial scan. So he jumps down, looks from left to right, then you start shooting. Because if you shoot before that, he may get enraged, because he still gets enraged sometimes. So try to do that. That will be a little more consistent in terms of results. You'll also have a little bit of a hard time against the Swamp Walker because that guy's toxic type. So again, your aim needs to be very precise. And if you are still just missing out with like a tiny sliver of health on the boss, try to see if you can get the roll of 12% on this guy. And that way, you will be able to clear all these solo bosses after. Okay, so just quick recap. These 5 mods on your any impact round hand cannon. It can be Nazistra, it can be something else. Just need all of this. You need 12% roll of rounds per magazine. Your reactor, you need tech skill power and additional skill power. Of course, it has to be mounted. You need to have the mounting, otherwise you lose skill power. Slayer set, okay, and this is the mod page here. Okay, maximize power, maximize skill, tech amplification, toxic amplification, dangerous ambush, skill extension, overwhelming shield, we already got the spear and shield, venom Sintian, and increased shield. Increased shield is not necessary. You could even remove this and you'll still be fine. But yeah, we just put something to fill it up. So that is the Freyna bossing setup. I'll leave you with the clip of all the bosses, solo bosses. Thank you for watching. See you next time.